Afternoon, everybody. Phil Simons with Columbia Grain here in your Friday afternoon weekly grain market recap. Well, we did have another week in the books, but we did see the wheat complex in its entirety kind of take it on its chin this week. But we did see corn and soybeans rally a little bit as we did close the week out here. But we do have a lot of fresh fundamental data on tap to start the week next week. On Monday, we will have the May WASDE report, which will have the first initial official blush for the 25-26 balance sheet. So something that will actually set the stage for trading as we continue to move closer and closer and see how the weather is going to really have a driving factor in the overall grain complex as we go forward. For now, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and we'll take a look and see what the week brought us here this week. But if we navigate over to our favorite website, columbiagrain.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, if we go to the Producer Solutions tab, that'll take us over to our Producer Solutions website where we house all of our pertinent data. But again, this coming Monday, we will have the May WASDE report, which will have the first official blush for the 25-26 balance sheet. So that really is going to be setting the stage come early next week, and then it'll be quickly to trading the weather as we continue to move closer to everything that's going on out there. But for this week, we did have the export sales report that was released yesterday, continuing to see really all commodities get traded at a pretty good pace, quite honestly. When we look at corn, starting on the left-hand side of your screen there, we actually had corn numbers coming in at 65.5 million bushels sold last week, which was quite honestly a pretty good pace and well above where the average estimate had it coming in at, or the pre-report thoughts had it coming in at there. So definitely nice to see that pace continuing for corn sales. We'll turn the page and look at soybeans. We actually came in at 13.8 million bushels, which was quite honestly kind of the middle of the road. But that kind of number at this time of year is actually definitely nice to see continued business coming to the U.S. For soybean coverage. And we'll turn the page again and look at the all wheat. All wheat actually came kind of at the higher end of the estimate as well. And really, we are switching gears and looking at new crop for wheat for all intents and purposes now. And the all wheat classes came in at 18.1 million bushels for last week. And you can see the by class breakdown. So you had hard red spring wheat coming in at 1.4 million bushels. We had hard red winter wheat at 7.5 million, soft red winter wheat at 5.2, and then soft white wheat coming in at 3.9 million bushels. So overall, very good report to look at from an export sales report standpoint from this last week. But when we see how everything settled the week out here, again, we're continuing to look at new crop opportunities in terms of hedge to arrive contracts, cash contracts, and accumulators. So looking at new crop across the spectrum here, starting with corn on the left-hand side of your screen, we see that Dees 25 corn had a weekly range of 15 cents. We actually had a net loss of 7 cents on the week, but we did bring a little bit of that back to close everything out here today. When we look at the soybean complex, we see that we had a weekly range of 14 cents. We actually were able to hold on to 7 cents when we settled out here today. But when we turn the page and we look at the wheat complex, wheat in Kansas September had a weekly range of 30 cents, and we actually had a net loss in the week of 26 cents. In Chicago September, we had a weekly range of 26 cents over there. We actually lost 22 cents week on week when the dust settled here today. And when we look at Minneapolis, we had a weekly range of 22 cents over there, we actually had a net loss of 19 cents on the week. And when we look at the wheat complex, we actually did close out, at the lower end of the trading ranges, or actually at the low end of the trading ranges that we had this week. But again, there's going to be an awful lot of weather to continue to trade into this market. But for right now, any weather events seem to be fairly benign and not a whole heck of a lot to really get overly concerned of or on. And that's why we do continue to see wheat trade towards the bottom end of the ranges. And we actually did set some new life of contract lows when we do look at September, the option month for the wheat complex. But again, there's going to be an awful lot of weather to trade into this thing, and we do have the May WASDE report out on Monday. So again, just something to continue to monitor as we go forward here. When we do look at the world conditions on wheat too, when we see the French wheat crop ratings, they actually had unchanged numbers on the week as well. So really there's just not a whole heck of a lot to get overly concerned of just yet. But we continue to see a build of a short position when it comes to the managed money crew. So again, that's going to be something that continues to get monitored as far as when will they, or if they will, look to cover in a portion of their short position, which could potentially push us higher. But again, we really need to be looking at this thing right now is how do we protect the floor? Do we look at any stop loss orders or ratchet type orders? Just to make sure that we are protecting the floor in case we do see continued weakness, really hit the wheat, corn, and soybean complex. But for other than that, we're going to go ahead and wrap everything up for the week here. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And remember, it is Mother's Day weekend. So remember, treat every day like it's Mother's Day. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk with you next week.